Hello, family and friends. Welcome back to my channel. This is Cynthia from Cynthia's Crafts and More. If you're new here, welcome. It's an honor to have you. Um, just a little update on what's been going on. We got back from our Minnesota trip last Sunday, but I ended up going to urgent care, who sent me over to the ER. So, lots been happening. First, let's see. On our trip on the way up, we had a little delay, about an hour to the Arizona New Mexico border, and there was about a 30-minute delay there. Turned out there was a vehicle that had rolled over. So said some prayers for those people as we drove by, and they were standing out. People looked okay. Don't know if there's any other vehicles. There was only one vehicle when we got up to the area. Then we got to our first stop, which was in Liberal, Kansas, and they had a tornado go through there like 30 minutes before we got there. And a good portion of the um, town didn't have any power. Thankfully, our hotel that we were at did have power. Um, but I thank the Lord that if we didn't have that delay in Arizona, we would have been in the middle of that tornado. So I praise God that He protected us from that. And then we went to Junction City, and we met with my friend Misha. Her YouTube channel is Misha Lee, and I will post a link down in the description to her channel and also to her video that she did of our little get together. Um, I also posted a link to my community tab. And then, so we visited with her for a little bit. Then we went to Topeka, Kansas, which was about an hour away, checked into our second hotel. Then we surprised Carlos by going to see his grandma Sandy. I will post a video of that below. What I did is when we were getting close to her street, I had him cover his eyes so he couldn't see where we were. And all he knew is that we were visiting a friend of mine. And I got out, started the camera, and Keith got out and helped Carlos out so that he wouldn't stumble because there was a curb and a little bit of an incline. Um, but you'll see from the video his expression. It was priceless. He hadn't seen his grandma Sandy since he was like 2. So he's 22 now. He'll be 23 this month on the 13th. And then, so we visited with her for a while, and then his auntie and uncle came home with their littlest one. So we visited with them for a little bit, and then we went back to our hotel and crashed for the night, got up, went back over to visit because Carlos didn't get to see the boys because they were over at a friend's house. So we got to see them and Vanessa. It was Vanessa, Jackson, and JJ, and Nevaeh were the 4 little kids. And so we visited with them for about an hour or so. And then we left and headed up to Minnesota. Checked into our hotel and Um, just got some rest. I wasn't feeling real well. So Keith and Carlos went over to Applebee's, which was just like walking through the parking lot um, to Applebee's from our hotel. Basically, they shared the same parking lot. And then, so they did that for Father's Day. Let them have some little time to themselves. And then the next morning, which would have been Tuesday, what did we do Tuesday? Can't remember what we did Tuesday. Wednesday was the service, and that went really well. Um, didn't do any videos of it, didn't take any pictures. I was just not in a place to be doing that, and I didn't feel right videoing the other people without their permission. Um, so we did that. Then we went back to the hotel, rested some more, and then Thursday, Keith and Carlos went to a water park slides with my brother and his kids and grandkids. And I'm not sure if anybody else went or what, or if it was just them. Oh, yeah, my sister Jennifer and her little boy Brandon went. And I think my brother Bill may have went. I didn't go because I had the boot on my foot, and I just stayed back and relaxed. Then that night we went to my sister's, and we all had, it was just the siblings. Um, my sister Julie and I went through some more boxes that my brother had brought back from Colorado. Um, Carlos had a blast playing with his little cousins. They, when we were at the reception the day before, they were calling him Castle Man, Castleman. And then it's like all afternoon Thursday, when we were over at my sister's, that's what they called him, Castleman. Where's Castleman? Come on, Castleman. And I'll play a couple little clips of them playing and everything. Then I think with all the excitement and everything, Carlos ended up having a meltdown. And it was not a very pretty one. So once my brother Jim and my nephew Brent helped um, get him to calm down and talk to him and everything. Um, and we left so that we could go get Carlos's meds. And I think some of it may have been too because of the time change, and his meds got off a little bit. Um, and again, the excitement of meeting his cousins, his little cousins, seeing his aunties and uncles, and some of the older cousins um, that he hadn't seen in like about 8 years since my dad's funeral. Um, and then we got up early Friday and left to come home. And Carlos wanted to collect magnets of every state that we went through. So we were collecting, got all of his magnets except for one, which was Texas. But I have a couple friends that are um, going to be getting him a Texas magnet. So then his little collection will be complete. So he's excited about that. And he took them to his group home and put them up on the refrigerators there. Let's see. So on the way home, there was a really bad accident involving two semis and several vehicles. apparently there was a semi going this way, a car trying to go around it, and end up having enough room, and boom, a really bad accident happened. So we sat there probably about 50 minutes to an hour before Keith was able to find a route to get us around that, so we wouldn't have to stay there, because otherwise we probably would have been there several more hours, because they took 2 people by helicopter and 4 people by 2 different ambulances. So yeah, pretty bad. And they would have had to do a scene investigation and everything, so we would have been stuck there for a while. So thankfully, Keith was able to find there was like a dirt road that was just like right behind us, probably maybe 50 yards from us. So we kind of went and um, took that little road, and we were able to kind of see the accident um, from this dirt road that we took. So I was saying some prayers for those people. And then we got into New Mexico, and there was another 30-minute delay where there was construction and stuff, but according to the GPS, they said that there was an accident. When we got up to the area where it was saying accident, there was just a vehicle that was pulled over, and it looked like the lady's vehicle had overheated. So we got through there and everything. We got to our hotel. Um, oh, we did spend a night in Junction City. The first night leaving Minnesota. So the second night we got to uh, New Mexico, which was Saturday night. We got to our hotel. We get there, and the windows were broken, and they aren't doing any, won't do anything about it. So I'm going to be sending a letter to corporate, showing them the pictures of the broken windows and how unsafe it was. And yes, it's only $50, but hey, they didn't want to do anything about it. The lady at the front desk didn't want to call her supervisor to talk to them. And they said the only other room they had was um, on the second floor, and they had no elevators. They only had steps. Well, I don't do steps. I, it's very hard for me to go up and down steps, especially with the boot on the foot. Um, so we went across the street to the Super 8 hotel, and they didn't have any 2 beds available. So then, so so the first place was here, then Super 8 was here. So then there was another hotel here. Um, so they had one 2 bed left, but it was a smoking room. And I'm like, that's fine. I'll take it. We need to get some sleep. So it was a little hard for me to breathe in there, but you know, I dealt with it. Wasn't really awake that long. We basically took showers, got ready for bed. Keith did some laundry for us, so we'd had some clean clothes because the previous place that we were at before, their wash machine was broke, so we couldn't do any laundry. And then we got up the next morning, had breakfast, started heading out. We were about an hour away from Albuquerque, coming back to Phoenix. Carlos was asleep because that's when he has really bad meltdowns. He'll sleep for a couple days on and off. And then, so we were about an hour coming towards Phoenix um, from Albuquerque, and I wanted some water. So I took my seatbelt off, put my little armrest up, and um, leaned over to get water from the cooler that was behind Keith's seat, and I felt something pop in my ribs. And at first, it's like I could breathe really good. But as the day went on, I was having more difficulty breathing. I was having to wear my oxygen, um, and the pain just started getting worse and worse. And so we get home. Excuse me. And we got the van unloaded, went and picked up the dogs. By the time Keith and Carlos got home with Thea, um, one of the staff members from Carlos's group home had come to pick him up. And after they left, Keith took me to urgent care, and they did some x-rays and some blood work. They were concerned about um, blood clots in my legs because of sitting so long and having the boot on and not being able to move around as good as I would without the boot. So they did a test called dimer, I think it's called, and that basically checks the level for blood clots. Well, she said that was pretty elevated, so she wanted to do a T scan with contrast of my heart and lungs. Well, I'm allergic to the contrast for the um, that they use. So she had to send me over to the ER. But the x-rays did show there was no fracture because our concern was because of how tender and painful it was that there could have been a fracture or just pulled muscle. So CT and everything, it showed that it's just pulled muscle and ligaments in the rib cage area. And they said it'll take about 4 to 6 weeks to heal. So I'm in the first week of healing, or past the first week of healing, and it's getting better to breathe and talk and do things, but it still gets pretty painful to like bend over, standing. Um, but I'm trying to keep moving and everything. But the D-dimer test was basically 0.009 above the normal range. It wasn't elevated the way she was making it out to be. And she was concerned because my potassium was low, and which I have a hard time keeping my potassium up. Um, and I do take potassium supplements for that. Um, and they took me over to the ER. She called, told them I was coming. I had to be pre-medicated, so they gave me a combination of 3 different things. It was a Benadryl, something to help with nausea, and something else to help with allergic reaction stuff. Um, I mean, in 3 hours, they gave me another um, injection of that combination. And then an hour later, they took me down. They did ultrasounds, sorry, of my legs. No blood clots there, so that was good. I do have on my leg that I have the boot on, there's like a bruise like here and then like one above it. And they were concerned with those possibly being blood clot type. But those areas showed fine. CT showed no blood clots in the lungs. They did say that my heart is enlarged, and I'm like, what? They actually they didn't say anything to me about that. My pulmonologist said something to me when I went to visit. So They kept me overnight. They had to keep me for 24 hours for observation to make sure I didn't have any adverse effects with the contrast. And got released. It was about 3:30ish Monday afternoon. Tuesday I called, set up appointments with all my doctors. Wednesday I went and saw the heart doctor. He said that my EKG was good, my heart sounded good. He wasn't concerned with the results from the hospital. So he said, we'll see you in 6 months. And I'm like, sounds good. Then Thursday, I went and saw my pulmonologist, and he was looking over the notes and stuff. And we were talking, told him what the heart doctor said and everything. And he goes, what did he say about your enlarged heart? And I'm like, what? What do you mean my enlarged heart? Nobody at the hospital nor my heart doctor said anything about my heart being enlarged. So he was going to contact my heart doctor to see what he's doing for the enlarged heart. And I knew that I was diagnosed like over 10 years ago with pulmonary hypertension. And so I asked him if that had anything to do with the large heart. He said it could, but most likely not. There's something else going on that would enlarge the heart. Excuse me. Um, so then Friday morning, I went and saw my pain management doctor, and we're going to do another injection into my low back, this time a little bit higher, up where the arthritis is more concentrated in my spine, and they did say something about scoliosis in my back, which will also explain why I have such a hard time and with pain in my low back between the arthritis and the scoliosis. So I'm just waiting to hear back or get a call from the doctor's office to get that scheduled. And then Friday afternoon, I saw my PCP for the hospital follow up and talked with him. Got to say goodbye to him because um, he's leaving for a different position the end of this month, end of January, or excuse me, end of July. So, and he did some blood work because he wanted to check my A1C levels and all that. And they've come down just a little bit. So every little bit counts. It's coming down to get it out of that pre-diabetes stage. And then being on steroids for almost every single month since November for my lungs has not helped at all. I've gained, there's about 20 pounds. So that's why my face looks a little puffy. So, on our way back from Kansas or from Minnesota, we were going to stop in Missouri and meet up with another YouTube friend of mine because she was making some a birthday gift for Keith for me, and I will show a picture of that um, here in a little bit, also. And but we ended up missing each other, so I was a little bummed about that. But there'll be another time for that. And excuse me a second. Thea's barking. Somebody's at the door. Just a mailman. So, but there'll be another time to meet up with Miss Frances, and I will leave her link down below also, and I will show what I got for Keith. So that's about it. Once my ribs heal a little bit more and I can move a little bit better, then I'm going to start back doing some resin work and everything. So, yeah, that's about it for now. So, thanks for coming along, and we will see you guys soon. Oh, did I show you my new t-shirt I got? I can't remember if I showed you. My little goatee showing her red, white, and blue. One of the Facebook groups I follow, one of the group people in the group were selling these. It's one of their goats, and they had somebody put the ribbon and everything on. So that's it for now. I hope to start having some more content coming to you soon. So stay tuned. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up by hitting that like button, and leave a comment below because I love to hear from you. So until next time, remember, Jesus loves you and so do I. And let's pray for peace and love. Until next time, God bless. Love you guys. Okay, Carlos. Take your seatbelt off.
Take your seatbelt off. Just step out. Careful. There's a curb right there. Step on the curb.
Okay. Move your hat. Just my purse.
How are you doing, grown man?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. How are you guys? You guys made it safely.
Yeah. Nevaeh, do you know who
Navia.
this? Do you know who that is? Hey, Jess. Huh? Do you know who that is? Is that your cousin Carlos?
That's your cousin. Can you say hi, Carlos?
No, I'm being shy.
He hears about you all the time. And hears you on the phone with Grandma.
And talks
Are
to
you
her.
wet? Arms up.
Where's the boys?
They are at our
So
friend's
at the-
house. Oh God.
All them guys against that one.
Sister!
Time out. No, but you're my mom. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's a rule.
Oh wait, how'd you manage to get two, Charlie?
Fine.
Brody, where's your... Oh, she's... Nope, not this way. Gotta go get him.
Yep, because he's the Catholic.
This is safe zone. No squirts.
You want it over here?
Can I get that shirt wet? Yes, you may.
Jenny.
We got your shirts too.
Save my trainer!
Smile, you're on camera.
I missed the super.
Oh no! No forever!
Somebody took it off.
Say please. I think Brody needs 2 of those things.
Charlie. Top liver. Okay, time out. Time out.
We gotta get Castle Man!
That's okay, but you can wait until I move.
Time out. Brody.
Castle Man, die! You must super duper.
Okay, you go for it.
You must die!
Not over here.
He's watering the lawn. Oh, Katarina's over there.
Get it on his skin!
Probably in the side, I don't know. Or, good job, Brody.
You did it. You want to do it now?
Good job. Hit it up.
Ready?
Save your leader!
You gonna put water on it? So put some water on it. You're falling down.
You want to take them off? Got.
Uh-oh. Oh no, I'm out. I'm out.
Okay, hold up. There's a vehicle coming. Carl.
Ceasefire.
Uncle Chrissy!
Uncle Chrissy.
Here he comes!
There you go. That better?
Your son. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Outside hog, we get water spray.
And I got it on camera.
Like that.
Give me that balloon.
Go, Brody, go. Go, Brody, go.